If you are not familiar with the story of Johnny Somali, you need to understand first that this is not internet drama. This is almost mythical story about Hubris. This is Icarus. Not the poetic version, but the real version. The one where flight feels so good that you actually forget that gravity exists. And I'm not here to rehash every incident. That stuff is easy to find. You can look how he ended up in South Korea in exile. You can look at the disrespect. You can look at the backlash. What matters is what happened after that. This is what I'm looking at. Because what followed was not just somebody getting canceled. This is something that is much, much older. This is exile, and not the cinematic kind. The real kind, the slow kind, the kind where the world does not yell at you, it just becomes hostile, it becomes expensive, it becomes silent and extremely dangerous. And this is a story of what life is like when your empire collapses, but you're still alive inside the empire, right? You can't get out of it. And it starts when this stuff all stops being theater to him and it starts getting real physical real quick, right? And this is what happens. Because for a long time, everything Johnny did lived in this safe zone. Conflict was content. Anger was engagement. Risk was abstract. And then that line got moved on him. And this was the moment where the story flipped. He gets physically attacked. This is when bounties are spoken openly, right? People are putting marks on his head to knock him out. This threat stops being about comments and starts being about being laid out. And this point, the math changes. Walking outside is no longer about optics anymore. This is about survival calculus. Who's watching me? Who recognizes me? Who wants to get some content that self? Who wants blood? You've been in South Korea disrespecting South Korean people, right? And now there's a bounty on your head to knock you out, not to hurt you, to film it and collect money for it, like a literal bounty. So this starts to kind of rewire your awareness, your pattern recognition, all that stuff. You have to. And this isn't paranoid. This is straight up conditioning. The same instincts that once pushed him to escalate now betray him, because escalation doesn't work when any stranger could end that situation. And this dude's been knocked out multiple times. I've seen his brain shut down and him be laid out. That's some very graphic imagery that we don't need to see, but we need to understand that he's taking real actual damage. I'm sure there has to be damage to his mouth. Now, this is the thing with the trickster archetype, which again, this is a mythical accounting in the way that I see it. The trickster only survives when this crowd agrees to play. Once violence comes in, that game ends. And this is the irony. This is a small dude who literally went bold on an entire country, who literally challenged them in this way. This is a man who built his entire power and structure and personality on confrontation, is now trapped inside this unpredictability. You can't perform out there when the risk isn't humiliation anymore. It's real injury. And that's the first fall. This is not public opinion. This is reality smacking in your face as hard as you can. Now, the second part is his legal limbo. He can't leave the country, right? He can't go anywhere. So what this does is he was also a streamer. This is how he made his money. He's in another country where he cannot work, right? Now this is economic suffrage. This is a very silent killer, and this is what people kind of miss it because it's devastating. He didn't lose income, he lost the cheat code, right? It's a cheat code. Remote American money while living abroad is exchange rate power. It means mobility, independence, and psychological safety. You're always okay, whatever, I can just pay more to go fly over here, or I'll just catch a flight there, or I'll just go stay in this hotel. When you're going abroad, that's typically how you do it, right? But this time you strip all the way. He has no legal right to work. He has no streaming income. That's all gone. He has no fallback gig. He has no way to grind back. He's 100% dependent on another person now, like 100%. So you don't make your own money. Like, you know how you move when you're not making your own money, man. If someone else is paying, someone makes all decisions, they can also stop, right? This isn't broke. This is also completely powerless, because you're also negotiating with someone saying that, my outcome looks like I'm going to go to prison, right? At least for some stretch of time. So I'm going to have to ask you to feed me and clothe me every day right now without any like reasonable prospects of me ever paying you back. Because we'll talk about even past like this, right? He's also in this like unbearable legal limbo where he doesn't know what's going to happen. And psychologically, this really has to do some damage, because he's not sentenced, he's not resolved, he's just waiting. And waiting is something prison doesn't. There's zero timeline. So psychologically, you don't move towards having any type of closure. You can't adapt to it because you can't even judge the distance. You just have to sit there and wait. So at least in prison, he could guarantee, again, a person who can't work, food is guaranteed in prison. Shelter is fixed. Like, your threats are kind of more structured, and their prison's not like American prisons. So there's not as much violence in there. I'm not saying there's not. But this legal limbo is actually worse, because you can't plan for it, you can't rebuild, you can't escape it, you just have to exist within. So now we have to look at the next stage of all this, right? We've got all this panic, all this physical threats, all this like being broke, and now you have this dopamine collapse. This is withdrawal from being seen. And this is where it gets to be some type of existential type of threat. Like, streaming wasn't just income. Streaming is also neurochemistry. Attention equals dopamine. Conflict equals adrenaline. Chat reactions equal validation. Now, all that is gone. There's no audience, there's no performance, there's no spikes, there's no feedback loop. It's just silence, which lets you deal with your own fear. So it's not even boredom, that's withdrawal. And the kicker is the spotlight didn't actually disappear. It just became hostile. So this is where it gets really, really tough to survive. Like, the point that he's going to be at right now, like, this is quiet cruelty. It's not just, I can't live how I used to. It means no wandering freely, no comfort food that you get on impulse, no drinks to take the edge off, or drugs or whatever he did, no familiar rituals. You don't have private decompression. Like, even the small things that you would use to regulate stress are gone. Like, I'm talking about stuff like taking a walk, just picking a meal because you're like, man, I just want something good today, like a beer that you would choose. These are things that are coping mechanisms, so we use them to keep ourselves sane while we're doing like the stuff we got to do. Now, the real irony of all that is that now prison has to be a relief. And this is a line that people don't ever have to say out loud, but this is true. Like, prison in his head has to actually be a lot more stabilizing right now. Not because it's good, like we could see that, but its survival is guaranteed. Right now, you could, look, who knows what you're doing for money right now? I'm just being really, really honest. Like, you're in a country where you can't work. Think about most people trapped in a country. Think about immigrants in your country right now and some of the stuff they have to do to get money. When you can't work within the system and they're watching you. So you can't even get some little like side job because nobody's going to do it for you. The entire country is hostile to you. So going to prison at least means your survival is going to be good. Like, there's rules. You kind of know what's going on. And then there will be a time frame for when you get to leave. So, this type of story, if you look at the whole arc of Johnny Somali, it's mythic. It's amazing. It's an amazing rise and fall story that I think is being executed to teach us all a lesson about how to conduct yourself. Like, exile isn't distance. Exile sometimes is compression. He didn't get exiled from a country. He got exiled from mobility, from money, from safety, from identity, from dopamine, from basic autonomy, all while being fully visible, all while being hated. This is not a downward fall arc. This is some kind of narrative I don't think that we've ever seen written before. But this is something I think people should look at. These are teaching moments. If you want to show us how stories are meant to teach future generations, I can't think of anything more compelling than this. So look at the story. You know, you can easily find this on YouTube. I'm not gonna, because it's not good footage. I don't like what it is. I'll be honest with you, but you can look it up. There's a couple of documentaries about them. Check those out and tell me I'm not wrong in the way I'm looking at how this story went, what it means, and how this like unique type of punishment is just like, man, I'd rather get a Greek punishment, man, than this. I'd rather be like having to push a rock uphill all day long. I'd rather get that. I'd rather be Loki getting like some acid from the snake spilled on my face every day. I'd rather get that than what Johnny Somali